Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So in this one, we're going to look at quite a difficult radical equation. Now radical just means root, so it's an equation that involves square roots. Now you might have seen from the thumbnail, quite a high proportion of people are struggling with these questions and I'm seeing these come up all over social media at the moment. So I thought I'd go through this one. So we're going to start off solving it like any other equation. We want to get the square root isolated to be on its own, and we want to move everything else to the other side. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 5 to both sides. So when I do that, I'm going to be left with the square root of 3x squared plus 10x on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, I'm just going to have 5. There's a couple of ways you could go about it from here, but essentially, to remove a square root, we're just going to square both sides. So I'm going to square the 5, and I'm also going to square this entire left-hand side. The reason this works, let's say I square the square root of 5. Well, the square root of 5 squared just means the square root of 5 times the square root of 5. And the square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is just the square root of 25, which, as we all know, is just 5. So what we've essentially done is we've cancelled off the 2, but that also cancels out the square root. Okay, so what this means for our equation now is that it's going to become just 3x squared plus 10x equals 25. Brilliant. So what we can do now is we can subtract 25 on both sides. When we do this, we're going to be left with 3x squared plus 10x minus 25 equals 0. So what this is, it's a quadratic with a coefficient of x squared bigger than 1. Now we're going to factorize using the AC method from here. So the AC method, what we do is we multiply a, which is 3, by c, which is negative 25, to get negative 75. So what we're actually looking for is two numbers that multiply to negative 75, but they have to add to 10, okay, because our AC gave us negative 75, and our coefficient of x is 10. Now, after looking at it for a little while, you'll see that these two numbers have to be 15 and negative 5. So what this allows us to do with this is it allows us to write it in quite a clever way. So I'm going to write it as 3x squared plus 15x. And then in a different color, I'm going to write minus 5x minus 25. Okay, so what this allows us to do now is it allows us to factorize this part and also this part here. So let's do that. So when I factorize this part here, I get 3x brackets x plus 5. And when I factorize the bit in green here, I get negative 5, lots of x, and then plus 5. Because negative 5 times 5 gives me back negative 25. So what we can see now is that we've got two terms, 3x and negative 5, that are both being multiplied by the same bracket. So this means that this statement is equivalent to 3x minus 5, x plus 5 being equal to 0, and from here I get my two solutions. Either 3x minus 5 is 0, which means x is equal to 5 over 3, or x plus 5 is 0, and so x equals negative 5. Really hope you enjoyed this.